Welcome along. Great to have you all here for Flow Friday. And gee, so many exciting things happening in the background at our end. I'm going to give you a little sneak peek later on and a big update that will be coming soon.
Recording in progress.
Music off? Yeah. So welcome everyone to Flow Friday. My name is Matt Kesby. I will be your Master Flow Engineer to help you on your journey to becoming Flow Engineers. Many of you are just rocking along at such a great pace. In today's session, we're going to keep looking at the human, actually, because in our change management process, I think it's always important to consider that our team members, as they become embracing more AI, we can get lost sometimes thinking, oh, well, AI everything, and yet humans are so critical in the process, especially for human in the loop. And there's really key aspects that we need to do as leaders, even like having one-on-ones. And there's some interesting data on this where it's had such a huge impact if we can have effective, meaningful conversations. The challenge is, how do we know if we're having one? And how do we know if we've got a good structure for one-on-ones and we're working effectively with them? So we do a lot in this space. And in fact, many of you know we've got over 1,000 team members in our organizations. And with that, we do one-on-ones either weekly or fortnightly. And we've got a very solid structure to it. And today we'll have a look at that structure. We're going to look at how the AI agent can help us prepare for a meeting so that we can be effective. And then post the meeting, time permitting, post the meeting, we'll also look at doing an analysis. Then I want to give you a quick insight into what's coming in relation to being able to connect any software application really easily and create very long, complex automations that will change your business forever, guaranteed. It's exciting stuff that we're about to be releasing pretty soon. Should be in August, actually. We're just finalising it at the moment. Okay, so now today's session, the link for all of our support documents. Google's having a bit of a play with me today and will not let me share some of the docs. There's a bit of an error at Google. The base instructions are available on Google, but then all of the rest we'll be sharing on Dropbox today because that's what we can make work. Now, as a reminder, we have now started our Facebook group, so please join us over on Facebook. And every now and then we'll run a little activity and have a bit of a competition. I want to give a shout out to Ezio, who was the first to submit a Loom video on using Raya with the web scraping. So thanks, Ezio, for sharing that. We're going to get you the first hot off the press Flow Engineer t-shirt will be coming your way. We'll get that printed next week. And when I'm in Cebu in the Philippines, I'm in Bali today. When at home, when I'm in Cebu in the Philippines, we'll get that shipped to you. So probably a week or 2 weeks away, that'll land to you in Australia. So cool. Thanks very much for jumping on board. Now I've got the wrong screen sharing, so let me stop that share. It might have given away a sneak peek of a new product we're building. I don't know if anyone caught that. So let me get the right screen share for you. Cool. One of the best ways to set your screen up, and there's the Flow Engineer shirt. So would anyone else like a Flow Engineer shirt? Do they like the look of those? If you like mine, let me know. Let me now move over to our best setup for today. So I always have Raya open on the left-hand side. And then the actual document that we work on will be, our Flow Friday, our worksheet for the day. That Google sheet is sharing. But the other three supporting documents, I think those will need to give to you a Dropbox. So as if you can, tips after a shirt, Chris, too. Yeah. Orders in. Well, look, we want to be able to give these away, but I'm sure we can work on orders soon too. So nice if you can share the Google link as well. Those up. So the first link that Nice has shared for us is Nice is our producer of the show. Thanks, Nice, for your help today. And big thanks to Jace, who is our studio manager, who's actually managing my audio from Cebu. Isn't that fascinating? end the whole show from Cebu, but I'm in Bali. So that first link there is straight to the Google Doc, and put that one, open that one up so it's on the right-hand side. Now the second link that we're going to share will be for all the additional assets, and that's in Dropbox because of this funny issue with. So it's going to look like this. We've got the worksheet in Dropbox also, but we've also got the following 3 supporting documents that we'll use. Okay, so let's start out by looking at this concept of one-on-ones and the challenge that we have often with one-on-ones. Nice, can you just share the Dropbox link as well? Into in fact, I will. Let's get cool. So there's two links today. One is the Google link, which is shared there in the chat at 9:05 a.m. by Nice, and then after that at 9:06 will be the Dropbox link, which is going to take you to the supporting assets. Hey, one-on-ones super important for employee engagement, but running them is both an art and a science. So today we're going to go through and create. Actually, I've got 2 there. And then we'll create the agents that will assist us with the preparation, and then afterwards for a review of a one-on-one. We're going to create a workflow which is around the preparation piece, and then we'll run that workflow, and then in the what's next section, time permitting, we'll do a review of a workflow that I did with a one-on-one that I did with one of our team members actually earlier today. Now, here's the challenge. Did you know that there's over 1 billion meetings per day around the globe, and most of those are actually some person-to-person interactions that are one-on-one meetings. Around 20 to 40% of those are actually one-on-one meetings. And Gallup tells us that especially after all of the post-pandemic shock that we went through, there's still a lot of people working from home. And although the latest research tells us that the hybrid is the best way to drive engagement. So 2 days at home and 3 days in the office is the current optimal for engagement. The reality is that what is more engaging is actually the meaningful conversations that we have between leader and team member. And when we talk about meaningful, what counts for meaningful? It's things like recognition and appreciation for recent work. It's collaboration and relationships. Having real clear current goals and priorities at work that can then allow people to execute effectively on. Ensuring that when we do have these one-on-ones, that the length of the conversation is between 15 to 30 minutes, and that the employee's strengths or other things that they do well are being emphasized. Now that's what Gallup shares, but there's also a really great insights from the book, which is called Glad We Met, The Art and Science of One-on-Ones by Dr. Stephen Rosenberg. And just for something interesting today, we're going to watch a short video on this one just to ground ourselves in the importance of why would we even look at something like this. I think that this also opens up some ideas as flow engineers of how we will also take this transcript from the video and utilize it in actually grounding our agents. So let's enjoy this one from Dr. Stephen Rosenberg so we can understand at look at the science. Actually, we'll look at the tips for high quality one-on-ones. I think this one's the best one today. We're actually covering this one in our organization also today. Let's see, where am I on? Away from me. Okay, so let's make sure I've got the audio.
So now that we've seen how important one-on-ones are, how can we make sure that each of us is doing a really good job with them? Let's start by identifying the most common mistakes. First, the manager does way too much talking and does not facilitate it. The biggest predictor of one-on-one value I have found in my research is the direct's active participation, as measured by the amount of time they talk during the meeting relative to the manager. Stated differently, the biggest predictor of ineffectiveness was a manager talking more than the direct. The ideal balance appears to be the direct speaking anywhere between 50 and 90% of the time. But this is not as easy as it sounds, given research showing that talking about ourselves fires up the same brain areas as sex and good food. We talk about ourselves because it feels good, but resist the temptation. After all, the one-on-one meeting is for the direct. Next, the meetings are often held with the wrong cadence, either too infrequent or too frequent. The science is most aligned with a weekly or every other week cadence approach. Not only is this the preferred cadence by pretty much all job levels, interestingly, actually senior folks wanted the most one-on-ones, that cadence yielded the most gains in employee engagement. Moving on to the next common problem, no agenda or plan of action. The research shows that having an agenda, which appears to happen around 50% of the time based on my data, created in advance or even at the beginning of the meeting itself, was indeed associated with more positive ratings of one-on-one meeting value. Interestingly, one-on-one value ratings were highest when the agenda was created jointly or solely by the direct, and lowest when the agenda was created solely by the manager. I want to emphasize that people were not looking for an extensive or formal agenda. Instead, they were just looking for some type of a priori plan. A plan, even if informal and communicated at the beginning of the meeting, serves to prime the conversation and create focus. A fourth common mistake is not deferring to the direct enough during solutioning. Encourage your directs to share solutions to problems they bring to you. But here's the key point. If the direct solution does not fully align with yours, but it's still viable, go with their idea, even if you think yours is a bit better. If you think there's a large gap in quality between your idea and theirs, and the consequences of a wrong solution are high, then it's reasonable to push back. But a large gap with consequences, that's the meaningful phrase. If there isn't a big gap between your idea and theirs, just let it go. Let it go. This conveys trust, and the direct will be more motivated to act. Overall, pick your battles and be reasonable. Another common mistake is forgetting that one-on-ones have to address both personal and the practical needs of directs. Now, practical needs are more tactical in nature and are often more natural for us to focus on during the typical status update type of one-on-one. But with a little attention to personal needs, you can change your one-on-ones dramatically. Personal needs are about how a team member feels coming out of the one-on-one. They need to feel trusted, respected, included, and the like. The ideal one-on-one process balances these two sets of needs. To assure personal needs are met, the key behaviors needed are listening and responding with empathy, communicating authentically and transparently, being kind and supportive, demonstrating appropriate vulnerability, and looking for opportunities to involve the direct. Finally, just like in any regular meeting, you can do a lot of damage in your one-on-ones with a poor ending. An excellent one-on-one conclusion has several pieces to it. Be sure takeaways, commitments, timelines, and action steps are clear for both parties, including how you will support next steps. Furthermore, to promote accountability and progress between meetings, jot down and later distribute quick notes capturing the content. Finally, end the one-on-one on a positive note by thanking directs for their hard work. Praise them for their good efforts and/or results they've achieved. Even if you're having a tough conversation or dealing with some constructive feedback, try to end on a more positive note. Ending on a positive will leave you both feeling more motivated and optimistic rather than stressed and drained.
All right. Any of that sound familiar? Even just having a agenda for a one-on-one doesn't always happen at the pace that we're often working at. So getting this structure in organizations can become very powerful. It's one thing to have the structure and even share it with others. It's the next thing to actually get the adoption. And that's where AI, I believe, is so powerful for us in the human-to-human interactions, because we can essentially give the high-end quality coach to every single team member to actually shift and change the way they're executing. And this impacts culture. It impacts our ability to deliver incredible results. And as flow engineers, it's up to us now to actually look through a completely different lens. Like when we see an opportunity or a challenge in the organization, actually say, hey, how could we use AI? So today my intent is to open your eyes up to this concept so that you'll see this beyond what might seem as a standard business process in other areas, but really in this human-to-human piece. Now, if you need any support on things like the documents, maybe email directly, just let us know in the chat and Nice or one of the team will be able to support you. Also, if you've been enjoying a free trial for Raya Pro, you may come through at some point in time where it's time to move over to subscription. We certainly love to see that you're getting such great value, that you're joining us full time. There is so much more to come. And with what I share with you at the end of the session today, you'll realize the power of Raya is just going to the next. Okay, so let's jump into our document here. Now, that video was also in the workbook here, worksheet. It's a third of them, but I've got a couple of other videos that are worthwhile. You might like to share those inside of your organizations. Now, we're going to create 3 agents. The first one is a pre-meeting coach. The second one is around looking at the metrics for an individual, so to actually coach around scoreboards. And then the third one is about a post-meeting analyzer, so that you can put a transcription in and then do an analysis and get some feedback as a leader. Essentially, you're going to give the power to your organization of having high-end consultants working with your team members to help them lift their game. In this example here around one-on-ones, but when you think about that, then you could transfer this over to any other area that you'd like to see a high-end consultant that's supporting leaders and individuals in any particular aspect. Okay, so we'll head over to the agent section and select Build New Agent. And as always in our notes here, by the way, thank you for those that might ask for the notes earlier, just some insight. Sometimes during the week, because my weeks are quite busy, I'm still building these out. Like I was up at 3 this morning building these out. So thank you for your patience. We do intend to actually get these to you like 3 or 4 days in advance, so you can get into them earlier. All right, so we're going to start with the one-on-one pre-meeting coach. And we'll copy that purple text in and we'll paste it into the enter agent role area. Then give that a emoji. It's up to you which one you'd like to choose. And then select a category. From a category, I'm going to put this one as human resources. And the next step is to select generate. Now, with this one and each of the agents today, because we're going to be referring to the goal and execution methodology called OKRs, objectives and key results, it's important that we actually give this some extra prompting. So we're going to do some advanced today. In addition, like the way we approach this is an evolution to the OKR methodology for the metrics. It's called OKRx, and you might have been on a previous session where we use the agents to actually build some to build some metrics for us. The X in the X factor, the X stands for X factor, and it's actually a behavioral metric. And when executed well, it's the best bet for actually delivering the key result. What's unique about this type of metric is it includes quantity, quality, and consistency. They're often difficult to write, and so the AI does a really excellent job of that. So where it says here, goal statement, add, and the next purple text, it's quite long, copy that in, copy that, and paste it under the goal statement. So we're going to add this additional information. Now, what's happening here from an advanced prompt perspective is that sometimes we like to give additional definitions, and in particular, because the X factor definition does not sit in a large language model, it's a proprietary approach, it means that we need to actually inform the AI. So anytime that you have a proprietary approach within your organization, doesn't live in a large language model, you've got a couple of choices. You could ground that in the knowledge of the agent, or you can prompt it early here in the goal statement, because that is then going to influence the writing of the backstory as well as the base instructions. Now, anytime you do give, so further on with the, Ep said, am I on a completely different webinar? No, you're on Flow Engineering. We're just broadening your thinking on how you look at business situations and expand those. And so this example here is the advanced prompt engineering. When you do have proprietary information and you want to add that prompt in, it's really important that you then give examples for the AI of what it is that you're talking about, especially if it doesn't live in a large language model. If you give the examples, you're going to get better outcomes from your prompting. So once you've done that step, then go to backstory and select generate. Oh, can someone give Ep a hand? She might just need some computer technical support. She can only see my face. That might be hidden screen, maybe an Alt tab or a Control tab to get there, or Command tab to get there. And if someone can check on Tamika, I know for Business Blueprint members, we extended 30 days and then an additional 30 days, and then another. Someone can check on Tamika. Okay, with that backstory in place, we can now scroll down and select the base instructions, select generate. We're going to add one more piece in to this one here. We're going to also add in here, make suggestions for the leader to prepare for the one. Put that in as a number 6. So you could 6. Once you've got that text in place and we're at the same spot, can we just put a 1 chat? Yeah, correct, Ryan. We're going to generate the goal statement first and then add the extra text in. And I've done it that way today so that you can see you can achieve the same thing as well. Or functional name, generate, and then add some advanced prompting to suit that particular. I'm not seeing a lot of ones yet, so I'm going to slow down a bit, actually go back a couple of steps. So from goal statement, once it has been entered, the next thing to do, scroll down to where you see this purple prompt here, select the entire purple prompt and add that onto your existing prompt here. Now, what we're doing is that these one-on-ones are going to focus on, someone could maybe take Ep into a side room and Zoom room, give her a hand there and then join the main room. By adding in, anytime that you've got where is the extra base prompt go? Just at the bottom. Yeah, just at the bottom. So, we'll start with the goal statement to begin with. And after you've generated that, then add in anytime that you might have proprietary information that you would like to see strong behavior from the agent. By doing the advanced prompt engineering, that's adding additional prompts in at this point, it means that the AI is going to, the large language model is going to have a better understanding of intent of this particular agent. And then when you go to write the backstory and the base instructions, it's going to take that into consideration. Once you've done the goal statement, then go into backstory. And then after the backstory is completed, run the base instructions. And then I've just got one line to add, which will add as number 6, which is base instructions, additional prompt. So you can add that down here as item number 6 before it gets to the spot for that to be added. And once you've completed that, pop a 1 in the chat. And David's asking, can I add invert? So there's commentary to remind me why we are doing this in the goal. I might need a bit more clarification. Can I? Oh, so you can give yourself your own notes of why you're doing it. Not sure. I'll have to check on that prompt. Could be a nice advanced one. I'm not. Super. It's coming through. It might be 8 for you, is it? That's okay. You might have your language model is giving you sets. So as always, we're going to get variability in what the AI will write here as it's creating. Quite creative, right? The large language models. Hence why at times we need to do things like additional prompt engineering and also grounding with additional. Okay, with that one done, we're now going to look at behavior and the disk profiles. Now, my notes there say empathetic, but we're going to go with professional and influential personality. With that in place, the next step is to scroll to the top of the screen and select Create Agent. Now, this agent's being created, and we now need to add some knowledge to it. So the knowledge section, scroll down to the knowledge section, and it only appears here, the knowledge base, once we have created the agent. Now, the reason why that's the case is that when we add the documents, they're going to go into a vector database where they're converted into an array of numbers so that the machine can actually understand it. Now, for us to connect the agent to those documents, we must first create the agent. So the computer has got a reference to that agent itself. From there, it will then be able to connect those two. So for the knowledge base today, what we're going to do is add this document here, number 2, which is got some details in it. It's got structure and meaningful feedback. It's got the information from Gallup so that the AI understands the importance. We've also got the transcript from the video that we watched a moment ago, so that the AI is going to understand some foundations of best practices when it comes to running a one-on-one. And then later in that, you'll see a whole range of photos or images there, which comes from our OKRx app, which we use to run our one-on-ones. Now, the structure of these, this is a summary from a meeting structure, which has some notes in there asking things like, what are your top 3 wins? We do a 2-word barometer check-in, so what we call the release word to understand where you're feeling right now, and then a power word, which is all about understanding where you will intentionally design your day around that word. The team member also, in this structure of the agenda, selects how they're feeling from the emojis and then types in, now what will you do with that awareness? And that's done so we can get a locus of control on the individual to be responsible, accountable, and take ownership for their thoughts, feelings, and actions. Team member then shares their top challenges and options and opportunities to resolve those. And then there's an agenda for the leader and for the team member to share any other items. And then there are scoreboards in there as well. So we've got the key metrics that the individual work on. There's structure around their top priorities and then action. Now, further in this document is actually an explanation in detail of each of those steps with things like what to do prior to the session and what to do during. Now, the beauty of the AI is that it can actually read all of these images and it can pick up on that text and start to understand what's important in each of the ways. So in the preparation for this, as you can see, there's like 27 pages of what makes a great one-on-one with instructions for before and after. And with this level of documentation, we're going to really ramp up smarts of this AI agent when it comes to preparing. So next step here is to upload that document. Now, by now, if you've got that in Dropbox, the key is to download these. Once again, normally it will be on Google, but Google, if for some reason they've got a back-end error and is not sharing and not allowing me to share publicly these 3 files. So you're in Dropbox today. Once you've downloaded those, that'll be, and I've numbered it to make it easy to find. So it's file 202, and it's the one-on-one structure and mini pack. So then you've printed it, no worries. Hey, it might be useful to look at the print later on. There's actually, I hope this gives you a lot of additional value, because looking at how to execute on any one of those sections, the instructions are in there, what to do prior and what to do during, and that can be very helpful to get you high quality one-on-ones. Once you've got that one uploaded, please publish. And every time you publish, you'll notice that release notes are shared. This is so that you can track your changes. So you might simply say, added knowledge-based document. It's up to you whether you want to go to this level. If you've got a large organization and you're starting to share these agents around, this will be important to track your changes over time. Certainly when we get into the really advanced stuff towards the end of August, where we'll be looking at automations that connect to all of your different systems in a whole multi-step flow. I'll give you a sneak peek of that session. Once that's done, please just pop a 2 in the chat so I can see how we're all tracking along. Okay, well done, Jacqueline, Kieran, Richard, Marvin, Hillary. Okay, and as always, these sessions will be recorded so that you can go back afterwards and play the video and follow along as well. And no worries, Tamika. So the OKRx information is going to go into the goal statement. Yeah, for this one, for speed, I've got both agents will use the same knowledge-based article. Later on, we can look at tweaking and prompting them further. Or another one is that when we get to the scoreboard analyzer next, you could just give the screenshots in there. Today, for speed and to try and reduce some complexity, I've just put both articles in. Okay, the next step is to create agent number 2. So we click on agents and then select build new agent. And in these instructions, when we go on to agent number 2, I've just shortened a bit more. I haven't included the screenshots. So this one, we're going to create an OKRx scoreboard coach. And in the Enter Agent Roles section, paste in OKRx Scoreboard Code. And select a icon to add. And then a category. So I'm using human resources today. Categories are only there to help you find them. It's not going to impact the prompting. It's just to help you find your answers later on. Click on generate for your goal statement. And then once that has been generated, select the purple prompt that I've added here and add that in underneath the prompt LLM has generated. Paste that one in. Then once that has been added, generate the backstory by clicking on generate. And then move on to base instructions, generate base instructions. Now, in the base instructions, we'd like you to add a little extra base instruction, additional prompt. Make suggestions for the leader to prepare for the one-on-one based on the scoreboard. Specifically, include questions for the leader to ask. So copy that one in. So add another number in your section there. Hey Ryan, sorry that you feel a bit lost today. Look, and it doesn't help when we're jumping between Dropbox and so forth. I hope to see you on the video as you play it back. So Richard said, after adding additional prompt, should we click generate again? No, if we click generate again, it's going to actually add another lot of generation. So great question, Richard, thank you. This here is when we get to this advanced prompting, we're just going to add the little bits, or you might even find you decide that you want to delete something as well. So now with this one done, we'll look at tone of voice, we'll be professional, and we'll use this one, inspirational. So because we're thinking about when it's going to give us ideas for communicating in our one-on-ones, let's have a bit of an inspirational voice to inspire our team members. And when that one's completed, select Create Agent. Then we're going to add the same knowledge base article to this one. Scroll down to knowledge. Upload. Oh, Naomi, you can add the hash if you like. It's up, and you can play around with this in the prompting. So you can see what the output's going to be, how much impact that might have. Upload, so document 2. And once that's uploaded, we're finalized. Now, if you want to play around with your agent at this point in time to see how your prompting affects things, there is a new feature here to interact with your agent through the chat right here. So that gives you an opportunity to interact, make some changes, and come back. Yeah, just with the base instructions, Naomi, just add that on the end. So append it to the end. I like to give it an extra number there. The AI is going to understand that. And further additional syntax in there, but I think you'll be fine by just adding additional number and adding. Love seeing the questions come through. Thank you. Along the way, please also let me know. Times we'll slow down and repeat a bit. I'll keep checking in with those so we can see where. So once you've completed that one, just pop a 1 in the chat now so I can see that you're ready to now publish the agent. By now you've added the knowledge base. And select publish. Once again, you can add some release notes. KB for knowledge. Select publish. Now we've got one more agent to add, agent number 3. Okay, and this is our OKRx post-meeting coach. So we'll go back to agents, select build new agent, and paste that in. and give that icon. Select the category, human resources again. And use your goal statement. So use the AI to generate the goal statement. And we're adding that same prompt in one more time, just because it's important around the metrics in particular to get this one in. Add that on the bottom there. It's a big one. And then backstory and base instruction. So backstory will generate. And in the base instructions, we generate. And once again, we've got one more additional base instruction add, which is make suggestions for the leader to enhance their one-on-ones based on the description session. So I'll add that to finish. Give you some time to catch up there. Next step is to give it that behavior and the this personality profile. I'm saying consistent with professional and influential here. You can get to choose. Like once you've done that one, we're following the same steps before. We're going to create the agent, add knowledge to it, same knowledge base article. And once you've gone through and created the agent and added the knowledge base article, just put 2 in. Just click on, yeah, I think we've got to make our UI look better there. So you can save as you go, but not publish it yet. Or you can just straight publish. Changes will be saved at the same time. I sometimes ask myself the same question, but that's the intention. You can save as you go, but not publish it. The idea being that you can save your changes, you could chat with the agent, make sure it's going to behave the way you'd like it to. And then from there you can publish. But publish will publish and save at the same time. Okay, once you've got your third agent completed, just pop a 3 at 3 agent. Zell, Richard's on. Marvin, Jack. Now today probably feels a bit more complex because we've added these big prompts in. That's the only real difference that we've got there is we've added some more detailed prompt engineering. And they're big prompts, right? They're these things that make can make all the difference in the outcome. That, especially when you're looking at proprietary type activities. Now looking at our time, I'm going to keep us going. So let's now go over to workflows. And we'll scroll through our instructions to get to create workflow. And when we select build new workflow, we'll copy the name, one-on-one pre-meeting preparation. And then the description, as a leader, prepare high quality one-on-one. And I've got an E missing, so correct that one. As a leader, prepare a high quality one. Now at the flow creation canvas, we'll select on the first block and we'll put a title in. So we see block 1 in instructions, task details, title label, pre-meeting preparation. So we're going to copy pre-meeting preparation and put that into the title. And I have not given you a very good prompt there. Descriptions. I'm going to put this in the chat for you. Pardon me, team. I'm going to put this prompt in the chat. It's in the instruction. Prompt is in the chat for you to paste in description. Okay, just so I know that you're there, just pop a 1 in the chat. On your app, I half read your message there. Great that you're determined. Power on. Yay. All right. So now let's select the agent. So we're going to use our pre-meeting, one-on-one pre-meeting coach. Assign that agent. And then let's add our next block, block number 2, which will be meeting invitation. Oh, sorry, wrong label. I worked on it last week. Change that label. So we're going to have an OKRx scoreboard review. Change that title, scoreboard review, chat. Oh, that'll teach me for doing it at 3 a.m. OKRx scoreboard review. And then once you've added that one, we're going to put in place the ask detail description. Please review the scoreboards in the file attached to prompt. Attached to the prompt, provide questions and insights for the leader to ask and discuss with their team member responsible. That one in. Now I've got scoreboards, but you might have Excel spreadsheet, something that's tracking KPIs instead of this one. Then for the agent, we're going to use the OKRx Scoreboard Coach. And that is it for this flow. It's just the 2 coaches that we'll, 2 agents that we'll use here. And once that's done, head on over to the chat. And there's a new step today, or a new feature that I would like. Whoops, I didn't publish it. It's of me. Oh, this one, I did not publish it. It's fun. Okay, so I'm going to quickly rebuild mine, give some people time to catch up. There you go. Always remember to publish it. Follow the instructions. Prepare. And throw a little laugh emoji. Thank you, Chris. Having my back. Scoreboard review. Publish. I'm going to keep it private for the moment because we're making a few of these in our organization. We don't want it up. And you always want to test it. Then click on the chat. Ah, 3 and 4. David's saying for 3 and 4, there's no access from the Dropbox to be able to download. You may not be able to edit, but you should be able to. Oh, everyone. Tamika's work. Okay, so let's go back to the prompt. We're almost there. 10 minutes left. So scrolling down to run the workflow. So here's the base prompt. Based on the attached document, please help me prepare for my one-on-one meeting with Gian. So Gian's my executive assistant. Some of you might meet him at some point in time. And download the pre-meeting screenshot. So in this one, there's my. So what I did was, this could be a PDF or it could be a Word doc where you're doing your preparation for your actual meetings. In this case here, I've taken a screenshot from our system, and that's what that document is. Now, rather than prompting the AI today, we can go directly to the workflow using this icon here. And so with that by clicking on in, I could say, it's called one-on-one. So I can type in here, one-on-one, and it will show me my pre-meeting preparation. And select that workflow and click on send. Oh, good on you, Kieran. So you've got manager's meeting doc. So you might then reprompt your agents to suit. That's fantastic. Now, it's quite interesting too when we think about over time, we end up falling back to whatever our habits are, and having this to work as a coach to just refresh us and look for some of the detail ends up being adding additional support. I know whenever I teach a topic, it refreshes me to lift my game, and I think that our AI agents are going to support us to just keep leveling up as leaders when we do some analysis. Okay, initiated. Preparations happening. Now, after this, so here we got some notes for us now. So it's got performance review, project update, audience analysis. It's got some content preparation, strategic plan, role-playing practice ideas, setting an action. Goals now into the scoreboards. Oh, it didn't pick up. Oh, it didn't put the scoreboards in. Scoreboards are in. Okay, so it hasn't picked up the scoreboards in this one today. Run out of time. This one. What I would like to do, it did it earlier in my testing. So what we'll do is today's video session will be posted online. But what I'll do is a quick run through from start to finish and do a second YouTube video that we can post so that you can see how it actually will scoreboards. Because of time, and I've got a very important thing to show you at the end, what we'll do is we'll jump ahead to create a new chat. Final step forward. which is to look at a transcription analysis. So in Raya, let's select our meeting. OKRx post meeting coach. Thanks, Tamika. Have a great day. And from here, to enter this prompt here based on the attached transcription of my recent one-on-one. Please review the transcription and offer coaching notes on where I can. So we'll upload the fourth file, and which is a transcription from earlier today. So there's the meeting. We might even post my meeting online so you can have a look at it. And then we can run this one. Then we'll post the meeting between Gian and I I did say to Gian, let's not make sure there's nothing personal today, and he's confirmed that he's happy to share this one so that others can learn how we do our one-on-ones. And then you get to meet Gian. So let's get that one up on YouTube as well. Now, so the idea here is that we've got that the transcription of everything that went through, and the AI's got some structure that it's been given around the process. And I've asked it to say, what I did well and what can I do to improve. So it's come back and said, what you did well, creating a safe environment. You emphasize the importance of a judgment-free, supportive environment. I've got an opening each time, which is sharing, sets up the intent for the one-on-ones, which is, great to have you back. You always encourage the person, and then say, just a reminder when we get together, my role as the leader is to create a safe space. That means it's actually to push aside any judgment, right, wrong, good or bad. All I'm really focused on objectively is to help you exceed in your role. Then I ask the question, how does that sound to you? Always get a really wonderful response, because it allows people to relax at that moment, knowing that you're there to be helpful, creating that safe environment. Celebrate the wins, so encourage Gian, addressing the challenges openly, so those, providing constructive feedback, areas for improvement, so enhancing follow-up, making sure that any challenges are actionable. That's good, because interestingly, we didn't put times and dates of deliveries on those, so it's picked that up. And it even picked out, let's revisit the travel documentation status next week to ensure everything. Very, very accurate. Positive measures, encourage Jan to identify potential roadblocks, propose solutions during the meeting. This product approach can prevent issues. So for example, what steps can you take to streamline consistent updates? So maintain regular updates on tasks and goals. We could have put more in there on that, so it's helpful. And detailed goal setting. Well, you covered the progress of the challenges, broadly incorporating the goal setting. For next month, let's set the objectives. So I actually asked him to set some goals next month, but I didn't go into any detail of what they would be. So it's given me a tip on some metrics there, and then similarly for those behaviours. So wow, quite useful. And I've been doing this for a while. So it's really powerful feedback there. Overall, the key here when we get together for Flow Fridays is to add value, absolutely, where there's things that you can utilize, but also broaden your mind to see, gee, here's what's possible. So I hope you got a lot of value from today. The one final thing I want to share with you, I don't even know if I should, is what you can look forward to coming up in the near future with Raya, and some advanced and features coming out. So the near future, we'd like to bring this to you, very near future, is the ability to build out some very complex workflows connecting into other SaaS systems, like it might be accounting system, your CRM, even AI phone calls as well. Ryan, Google connection drive I should expect next week, I would say. See that out. Is that right? Is Genesis on the call? Will we see Google Drive come out next week?
We're currently working on the...
Just pop it in the chat, brother. Or open up your microphones.
Hi, Matt. We are currently working on the privacy policies. The feature is ready. We just need to find privacy policies.
Okay, cool. All right, so we're very close. So team, I'll keep you for just one more minute. Why don't you consider things like in your businesses to be looking at the bigger processes. And as an example here, I've got one for accounts receivable for debt collection. If you've got B2B and debt collection, today you might do things like obtain a list of outstanding debtors, review your notes in the CRM, prepare and send an email to each debtor, prepare and send an SMS to each debtor, call each debtor, update the CRM, and update the accounting system. What if you could actually get your AI agents to be able to do these functions for you? Well, that's where we're going. So as you can start to look at more complex workflows that would happen in your business, especially connected to lots of different systems. When we jump into these sessions, these will end up being a lot more detailed. So there'll be some Flow Fridays coming up in the near future that will be longer sessions so that we can go through these. This will be an advanced section in Raya. So more details to follow on this, but some exciting advancements coming and big impact in businesses. Like an example with this one, if you're, whether you're paying someone onshore or offshore, if there's a human being that does this process and it takes them a week of committed time to do follow-ups like this, then you could end up be saving thousands, tens of thousands of dollars a year just by doing this. And Hillary's already picked up on, client onboarding will be super powerful. Setting out automated emails and being able to set timings and triggers and interactions with other systems and so forth. So a very cool world ahead for us with what's possible, and it will all be available for being able to build out right inside Raya, connecting to all your business systems. So thanks everyone. If today, I think a couple of people might have struggled at the pace and the different items that we shared. Well done to those that are keeping up pace. For those that want to go back over the videos, that's why we're posting them over at AI Powered People on YouTube. I cannot begin to express how excited I am for your futures. And even if your learning curve, you're getting through it, stick with it, because the impact that's coming for your businesses next is next level with automation and AI. So thank you so much, everyone. Have an amazing weekend, Flow Engineers. Looking forward to seeing you next Friday, and I'll get the instructions out earlier to you next week. All right. Bye, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. Look forward to seeing you next week.